So this thing we had was not just bad, it was a shit show.
Right, this is the Bolt Hoax Part 2. I've come across this video. We're talking about it on Pyman's last live stream, so I just had a bit of another quick look at it. And I found this video, interestingly enough, on the 3AW website. Now, looks like this video was taken by one of the perpetrators, according to the news reports from the CCTV vision that they showed in that news report. This guy was there to film it. And obviously it was, because he had his camera ready to go. So I don't know how 3AW got it, because like a crime was committed, and as far as I understand, nobody's been arrested. Maybe they have. We haven't heard about it up here in Sydney. Maybe in the Melbourne press, local press, you might have found out something more about this. But as far as we know, Bolt hasn't mentioned it. He hasn't, pressed any charges, hasn't appeared in court as a witness or anything. So I'm presuming that there's no police involvement in this thing, and somehow 3AW have gotten hold of this vision. That's interesting enough. But what's more interesting is that the fact that there appears to be no police involvement is that you've got a bunch of guys with paint ready to go and balaclavas on their heads. So presumably it's ridiculous to think that they just happen to be walking around like that and stumbled upon Bolt. They kind of insinuate that, though it was a staged, or the staged, of course, but they planned to intercept Bolt and assault him with the spray can, and got into a bit of a punch up. So it's interesting, and that would then constitute stalking, because they would have to have followed what his routine was. So that's another sort of impetus for police involvement, because they might stalk him again. But isn't Bolt concerned that they've stalked him this time and they might come after him again? Well, apparently not. He's just blown it off as, oh no, I can handle this. What a load of fucking bullshit. So the whole premise for this already has a big hole in it. Now, there's a couple of actors here that are bookends to it. They are there at the start, and they are there at the finish. And it's their actions that first gives them, I guess, trying to make the story seem credible, when in actual fact it's absolutely ludicrous. So before I get into playing the vision, this is a screenshot of it a bit later on. Look, this video is fantastic. The CCTV, you could sort of see it was a hoax, but this proves beyond any doubt that it's a hoax. And I'm glad 3AW have put it up for us to examine. And if you look there, he's got paint on him. Now, that was meant to constitute the damage done to Bolt. Now, how convenient. There's no hospital treatment required, no ambulances called. Yet, he there's evidence there that, they've attacked him. So, that's part of the hoax as well, that there's no damage to him, but this paint on him, that constitutes, oh my God, Bolt has been assaulted or attacked, or however you want to word it. I've just paused it there. Now, if you look at the woman that's facing Bolt, she's the start. She sets up the scene for the start, because from the original news story, she apparently wanted an autograph off Bolt. Now, how many times in the last 10 years would Bolt have been asked for his autograph? I'd say never. But if he was, it would be very, very, and he's got a pen at this time in the morning, he's ready to get an autograph. But that's what they said. And it happened at the exact time that these guys assaulted him. I mean, what are the chances? Well, there are no chances. Now, the reason why they've got this woman here is as a distraction for Bolt, so they can get the paint on him, because otherwise he would have just seen these idiots running towards him. But the story is that she distracted him while asking for an autograph. Therefore, they got the paint on him. I mean, what an absolute load of bullshit. So that's how they set up this at the start. And I'll just draw your attention to the big fat guy to the left, the bald-headed guy. Now, she's the bookend at the front. He's the bookend at the end. And it's his actions that call it to a halt. But he allows it to play out to a certain point in time. So just keep your eye on this big fat turd here. So the melee has started. The woman lets out a fake scream. But now the big fat guy, the bald guy, he's right there. Now, he doesn't say a word at this point in time. So here's their amateurish fight scene. There's, arms going everywhere, but no real punches are being thrown to land or anything. A few chairs to get him knocked about. But as I mentioned in the first video, they cleared this area out. Imagine if there was somebody sitting here having a coach trading and this was real and it happened. Well, they'd be involved. They might have got injured. But of course, they made sure that it was clear because this whole fight scene is just staged garbage. And I'll also point out the big fat guy still hasn't said a word yet. Bear in mind the woman's already screamed, there's chairs going everywhere, punches are being thrown, and he's just standing there watching it.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing? Now, that's a full 11 seconds after it first started. You had the woman screaming, you had chairs going everywhere, punches being thrown, people supposedly in danger. Now, any normal person, something like that breaks out in front of them. You're saying, hey, stop, calm down, break it up, boys, right from the start. You don't wait 11 seconds, and he was there the whole time. We saw him at the start. It's not like he arrived later on. That's the mistake they made. He was there right at the start. If they want to do it properly, they should have not shown him in the frame. Then we could have said, oh, he's only just got there. But no, he was there right from the start. So he waits 11 seconds for the scripted part of the fight to end. Now, the reason they need him is that actors sort of, playing out a fight scene, they need a director to go cut so they know when it ends. Because when they're acting it out, to try and get that timing right, it can be quite difficult just in, when they're making normal TV shows or movies. So that's why the director will say cut at a particular point in time. And that's another reason why they needed this third person to come in, so that there was kind of a reason for it to end, or otherwise it would have had to act out a reason for it to end. So that's another, and also, the timing and everything else. That's another reason why they had this guy come in and go, hey, what are you doing 11 seconds after everyone was in danger and women are screaming? So, look, I'm glad 3AW put this up because this is such a great expose on what a load of bullshit this really is. Yeah, go away, you idiots, because the cops aren't going to be called, and, well, they won't be called later on, but certainly not with any urgency, and we've got the footage we need for the phony fake show for Andrew Bolt to get up there and talk about what a hero he is and how these leftists are attacking me and all this sort of stuff, just to position Bolt. See, the purpose of this is to position Bolt as the vanguard. He's the go-to guy, well, let's all get behind Bolt and listen to what he says. Now, here's another reason why they use the paint, obviously, is that he's not actually injured. See, if he sustained any kind of injury, it would be obligatory for the police to be involved. But because it was only paint, well, the police don't need to, no ambulance, no nothing, no authority. So they got their story over the line without any court cases, without any follow-up. And the SIA was complete. And, Bolt, if you needed any proof, I mentioned to the Palmer, actually got through to him and Steve Price, and I got cut off at a certain point in time. He is a sellout. I listen to him on the radio sometimes, and he goes so far, but he's a gatekeeper, and then he stops. That's it for this one.
Let's not tiptoe. This thing we had was not just bad, it was a shit show.